Alright, so far as I can tell, everything should be working. Can you hear me? Can you see two of me? Hello, RC Racer. Yes, I forget. So, first things first, can you guys hear me okay? Is the picture okay? Hopefully it's crystal clear. Mr. Comet D is in the house. Oh dear. So I've gone all out. I've got a Blue Snowball microphone sitting over here. I have a close-up cam here. I have the main cam over there. Now, having multiple cams, obviously, we get different angles, which is excellent. I see Voodoo's in the house. Hello, mate. Now, if there's ever any times, and I have to remember how to do this all now, okay? I need to go to this page, I believe, right? Yes. Everything should still be Mickey Mouse. Right, so if I want to get rid of the close-up cam, yes, can hear and seeing double. Good. Now you should only see one. Correct? So I've now gotten rid of close-up cam for the bigger jobs, right? So the goal here is we can obviously have our camera here. Let's talk some smack about this truck, etc. and so on, whatever else. Now, at some stage, I'm going to get, and this is one of the next things on my list. One of the next things on my list is a stream board. There's probably another name for it. So I can have a little panel sitting here or here somewhere, and I can just go beep, and it'll change to the scene I want to change it to. Perfect picture, perfect audio sync. Good. This is wicked. This is very good. Okay, so now there should also be an option of just close-up cam. Okay, so now I can grab my little camera here and I can go check out the grill on this truck. Right, check out the BCRC dealie. It seems to be adjusting the light a bit harshly, but I can change those settings. Isn't it nice? We've now got these options where should I unbox a truck, etc. Should I work on a truck? I can now set this camera here, and I can aim it at the bits and pieces, etc. that I'm working on, and we can check everything out up nice and close. Okay, so this is a part of the BCRC goal. Let me just fix this bad boy up a smidge. However, that's fine. Back to this one, and then we're fine. We've got our cameras on, and nothing is backwards. I know, right? This is what happens when you go to your local electronic shops and spend a fortune. Okay, so there is a donate option if you'd like to. It'd be much appreciated. I spent more than I wanted to today. So yeah, I've gone nuts, and I can actually see, and this is really good for me too. Even with this whole setup I've got going at the moment, I've got a good preview screen here, so I can see what I'm doing. I can also see if anyone donates. I can see the chat. I do need to do one click of zoom, so my chat's a little bit bigger. I'm winning, folks. I'm winning. I did say to you guys I want these streams to be I want them to be better than the Facebook streams. Fan-bloody-tastic. Lovely, you might say, Rob. Lovely. So, goals. I've had goals, and I've sort of pushed myself and my budget to reach them. But here we are. We're like week 2 of the YouTube streams, as opposed to just doing the Facebook live streams. I feel a bit limited with the Facebook stuff. But now that I've sort of got all this set up how I like it, I should be able to do this quality stream with the multiple cameras, the fancy mic, all that stuff on Facebook. So perhaps the next stream, I'm not sure what it's going to be on. Maybe we'll just do a tinkering session, and I'll grab a truck and strip it down a bit and re-grease this and whatever else. A bit of a Q&A at the same time. So perhaps the next stream, I'll try and run this sort of whole setup through Facebook. So I'm trying. I did say I was trying. I've learnt a lot. I taught myself how to do the intro and such literally just before we started the stream. So it's the whole idea of the intro is I can go start stream, punch in a title, though it doesn't usually save the title, which is dumb, but anyway. Punch in a title, start up a stream, and then you guys get a notification if you tick that little bell. You get a notification saying Jono's live. I'm going to get rid of my preview just so it's less effort on the computer. So you get a notification saying I'm live, and then you've got time to make a coffee or whatever else, and you could have I wish I would make me a decent intro. It's easy, dude. Surprisingly easy. So you can make yourself a coffee, that sort of thing, sit down, get comfy, and get ready. You know that when I start the stream, it's not just going to be, what did I miss? It's, if you see that notification, I've got 5 minutes. Duck to the crapper. I make a coffee, whatever you want to do before the stream starts. If the 5 minutes isn't long enough for most of you guys, we can push it out to 10. But I feel that's 10 minutes we could spend, or an extra 5 minutes we could spend talking about RC stuff. Right, now for anyone wondering, yes, I do have my coffee. Okay, I've always got my coffee with me. It's what I run on these days. Right, so a biggie. We did the dealie. We did the video on the Gen8 and this bad boy. And for this shot in particular, let's be clever and get rid of the close-up cam. Options. Okay, so we did the video with these two trucks. Now, I was out there driving them, having fun as much as I could, and I sort of, after a little while, I thought to myself, I've sort of not done this right, in the sense of this truck's now got brass upgrades on the front of it. It's also got the racing motor in it. So what I've done is sort of shot myself in the foot, because technically it's also not got the factory tyres either. Technically this truck is upgraded. I know it's not heaps, but it is enough to make a difference. And in saying that, this truck has got a set of beadlock wheels on it, and that's essentially the only upgrade it's got. It's got the factory tyres. We did change the gearbox and transfer housing. Not technically an upgrade. If anything, it probably makes the truck worse because it's weight up higher. But anyway. So, I took the trucks out and I drove them. Now, you all know how much I love the air racing motors. They're absolutely brilliant. Love them to pieces. I need to order more. I've already installed, I think I've got 2 left. So I've installed 5. Something like that. So I took the trucks out, and for the majority of the time, the cross truck outdone the Gen8. The only time it didn't was when it was a steep incline. And the reason it didn't is because of how the suspension in the rear of this truck is triangulated so much. And what I mean by that is, let me see if I can be all clever here and fire up the close-up cam. Okay? I've got to make the most of these things. I spent the money on it. So, if you look in the little... Let's go all out. Okay? So, you look here. That should refocus. I'm yet to figure out all the settings with this. There's another whole app I have to learn. So you can see here how the shocks are triangulated, and of course your top links are triangulated. The only thing that's not is the lower links, which essentially makes the whole back of this truck a pivot point, right? Which is not a good thing. And this is why Cross came out with the relocation kit for the shocks, so that you can install your shocks straight up and down, which takes out the pivot point part of the truck. I need to do that with this truck, because when you get it up on a steep incline, it does want to torque, twist and lift the wheel off the ground. I also thought to myself too, I don't think the drive shafts have been set up in this truck properly, because there is actually 2 different ways for setting up the drive shafts. You can set it up the original way or the non-torque twisty way. This is a thing. So I don't believe that's been set up in this truck. I'll have to pull the book out and go over it. But honestly, the cross truck was still smoother, even with the factory motor. It was quieter. It was quieter by quite a margin still. People ask me why I don't have the truck sounds in the video. Now, if you listen closely to the video of these two trucks, I left the sound in. I just included music as well. So there is some stages where you can hear the trucks. And unfortunately, the Red Cat's just loud. It's too loud. It shouldn't... A brand new truck, regardless of what it costs, shouldn't be that loud. This truck here as a kit is $269. And it is as quiet as a church mouse. It really is. Let me zoom in on my chats so I can make sure I don't miss anything. It needs to be upgraded to keep up with the cross. Yes, it does. There was a spot where this went. One spot where this went, but this wouldn't. And it was because of the brass. And I know this because when I first took this truck out, it wouldn't get up this particular spot. Changing the tyres, putting bead locks on it, and putting the brass on it was enough for the truck to get up something it wouldn't do the other day. This wouldn't do it because it just wanted to pivot because the suspension's set up wrong, and I believe the drive shafts are too. Overall, the cross truck won it. I mean, it's no huge surprise. If you're going over flat, well, I say it now, bear with me, I'll explain all this properly. If you're going over flat ground that's very rocky, so very rock crawlery type stuff, wasn't me. What wasn't you? You didn't win. No, it's about time you didn't win too. Anyway, I digress. For those that don't know, Rob wins everything. So, a lot of the normal rock crawlery stuff, this thing walked over. It really did. Even the axle clearance. Now, I'm just going to sit these trucks. This is for my personal benefit. I said to someone the other day, there's not a huge lot of difference. Tell you what, let's go. We spent the money. Let's make sure we use it. Let's go close up cam. I need to zoom out one here so I can see exactly what I'm looking at. Right. Now, I don't know how low I can get this. It's on a tripod, so you'll have to bear with me. Right. Get that reasonably level. Okay, so you see the clearance with the cross. We're going to go straight across, and the clearance with the Gen8. There's not a huge amount of difference. This truck didn't get caught up near as much as the Gen8 did, which was a little surprising. I mean, you got portals. The whole point of portals is more clearance. That's legitimately the whole point of portals. Let me just sit that back there. Lovely. We'll go back to this scene. So yeah, the Gen8 got caught up a lot more than the cross truck. I'd like to say it's frustrating, but it's sort of... Well, I mean, it is frustrating. The truck sits higher. Even looking... No. Underneath the middle, the cross is higher. But under the portals, or under the diffs, the red cat's got more clearance, so it shouldn't have been hung up as much. So obviously the cross won on that standpoint. As far as steering, I can't remember what the actual steering lock is on the cross, but because it's got a shorter wheelbase, it turns tighter anyway. So the cross sort of won out there as well. But I mean, that sort of hero, that's not a reason for me to buy or not to buy a truck, so that's neither here or there for me. Obviously the Gen8's big, it's got a bulky body that gets caught on everything. Yeah, some clowns outside with the chainsaw, they pick the best time to do these things. We will push through. Okay? Your mower guys there. No, they come on Mondays. I reckon it must be next door. Obviously the microphone's good, okay? You can hear that there's the guys outside doing the thing. And they're next door. So, Upstate's joined us. Upstate, Dave Foster joins. Hello, Dave. Charles is with us. Hello, Charles. I did see you pop in, mate. I was getting there. So, overall, what would I recommend out of these two trucks? Well, it comes down to, one, how much money you want to spend in the first place. Trent's joined us. Hello, Trent. Thanks for joining, mate. It comes down to how much money you want to spend in the first place. Your plans for the build. How much money you want to spend after the fact. So, this is $269 as a kit. You need servo. You got to buy a replacement servo for this anyway, because it's not ridiculously terrible, but it's an RTR servo. You replace them. So you got to buy a servo for both. You got to buy an ESC for this. The factory ESC is okay. The drag brake seems lazy in reverse, and that's with the stock motor and the changed motor. And that's between 50 or 100%. Reverse, it just seems really lazy. So if it was a truck I really cared about, I would change the ESC in this, but I don't care about it that much. So I'm just going to leave that ESC until it blows up or something. Personally, I would buy out of these two the Cross truck. Now I know a lot of you guys are going to go, you're only saying that because you're a Cross fanboy. This is God honest truth, what I would buy. Now I know Cross has got the kits, the FR4, that one there. I would buy that because it's the same chassis except with full inner fenders. It's just me. The Cross truck outperformed. That broke my heart. Sorry, mate. I'm just being honest. Do yourself a favour. Drive one of those. That's the FR4C. You'll be hard pressed to find a truck that drives nicer than that does, even with the factory motor. Now like I was saying earlier, I put the Year Racing Just Cruel motor in this truck, and it's one of the smoothest motors you will ever drive. This truck has the original Cross 35 turn in it, which I've always said are good motors. They've got plenty of torque and they're really smooth. But this was smoother than that. So, and it was a damn sight lot quieter. So the Cross wins, and it's not because I'm a fanboy or whatever else. I went out there, I hadn't driven this truck yet. It was the first wheeling session with this, and the second one with this. But obviously, since the first one, I've changed a few pieces on this and upgraded, etc. So knowing what you know of the Cross RC, the Cross RTR would be better than the Gen8. Yes, I would put money on it. It will go more places. It will do it quieter. It's got better factory tyres. I know the rims on the RTR Cross, they're bloody simple. They're just a plastic glue-on wheel. But it's an RTR truck. If you want some fancy wheels, get yourself some of those. Although you probably can't see them very well. But they are from Trill Hobby. I think they were $46. For 4. They're on Amazon. I've put links to them in BCRC. They are seriously nice wheels. If they didn't look so good on the Gen8, I mean those wheels set that truck off. I tried one on this truck and it just didn't look right. And I think it's because of how dark the truck is. It works with the Gen8. I don't have a Cross. I pretty much have everything else. Perfect time to get a Cross truck, mate. So, I tell you now, if you buy one of those trucks, that's the FR4C. It's obviously the fancy version of the RTR. I mean, that was out before it. That's the kit. But if you buy an FR4 truck and you don't like it, there's honestly something wrong with you. And if anyone wants to contend me on it, you're welcome to come and drive all my trucks. Right? All of them. PG4, the Cross, the Gen8, the SCX10, the other SCX10 8x8, whatever you want. If you don't leave here saying that truck is the nicest truck you've driven, there's just something wrong, because they're epic. This is why I say they're good. And they both got black windows. Exactly. They both got black windows. When it comes down to it, you can buy both the bodies in clear. How much does a Gen 8 body cost? While you tell me, I'm gonna quickly jump on a thing. I've got to drop a link here. Paste. Lovely. I'm going to quickly jump on Robert's page, and I'm going to see how much the W's cross. I'm going to see how much the clear body is for that truck. Love my Ascender as well, but I put my cross on top. I had an Ascender. I got rid of it as quick as I could. You guys know this, alright? Search FR4. Search. Yada, 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 yada. 34 or 35 American dollars for the FR4 body. That's in clear. I'll do another quick Google. Gen8 clear body. $55. $20 more for the Gen8 body in clear. And I'm not sure if that comes with the grille. The cross doesn't come with the grille, but if you've got the RTR, you just take the grille straight out of that and put it in your new clear body. So, and you can do the same with the Gen 8 body. But yeah, $20 more expensive for this body. The painted body's the same price. So they get their paint for free. Doesn't make no sense. Anyway, so yes, there's options. If you want to put the RTR clear body on your truck, it's $20 cheaper to do it than the red cap. I haven't run my SDX 10.2 since I got my cross trucks. I know that feeling. I've got a lot of trucks I haven't run since I got my cross trucks, and I feel bad. Okay, this one here, if I can get it out, I've got too much stuff here. This poor little thing. Let me move this. So, for those that joined late, the cross one. Out of the Gen 8 and the Cross SR4, the cross one. It's a better bang for your buck truck, in my opinion. You've also got the option too of you can put any of the cross hard bodies on the those chassis. So if you get the RTR truck and some stage down the track you want to put a hard body on it, it's literally a bolt on. If you put the clear body on it, I believe you can put the Demon interior in it, so the front piece, relocate your battery to the back, and then you can have interior for the front half, make your own little cover for the battery area. There's options. Right, let me zoom back into my chat. Yoink. Zoom down here. Biggest inconvenience is a short battery tray. What battery are you running? Well, with the RTRs, let me just move some of this stuff. Okay, so I'll put this thing back on the bench. Move that out of the way. Right, so we're back with the cross truck. Whip the body off this real quick. You've got two body pins on the bonnet, and then there's two latches at the back of the cab. That's how you take your cab off. Full size battery tray. Let me just move my thing so I can see that I'm showing you the right thing. Okay. If I go to there. Yeah. So, full size battery tray. Don't know what I've done with my LiPo. I mean, I've got more than one, but full size LiPo on this bad boy. The SG4C, which is that one, that takes a shorty. That will take a long pack, but it can't be too wide or tall. Gen's Ace batteries fit in that really well. That will take a full size. This takes a full size. The RTR takes a full size LiPo, which is excellent. I mean, honestly, I run my SG4C on these. These are little 2S receiver packs. Cheap, $20 each. That's 2,000 milliamp hour, and my SG4C will run on that for 2 hours. So you can't argue with that. I've got like 3 or 4 of these. It's a progress bar, Tony. So if people donate, Now I've changed the donate dealie to prize money for prizes and such. So I can do more competitions, buy more prizes, so we can do more fun stuff. I did have the donation bar set to webcam stuff. We got to $32 of 200. I went out today and I'm not saying how much I spent because Hannah might watch this. But I went out and I spent possibly more than I wanted to, and that's why I changed the bar. So can't donate from your phone. If you look at let me see if I can look at what you're looking at. I mean, I don't expect anyone to donate. If you decide you want to, that's awesome. I obviously appreciate it, but I don't expect anyone to. Let me see. Okay, share the link. Click on it on my phone. Right, I assume this is what you guys are seeing. Right. 10 watching now. Okay, so is that what you're seeing, Tony? There's a slight delay there. Right, if you're seeing that, let's make the most of these cameras. Let me pick my close-up cam. Yep, no, wrong scene. Zoom in only. Okay. Right, so focus. Oh, lovely. If you click that little down arrow, there's a link just there. If you click that, that should take you to a little page to donate, for those wondering. Did you change the wheels on your SG4C? I did. Bear with me. I'm about ready for another swig of coffee. Oh, a lot of talking. Scene. Back to the main. Oh, lovely. God, I love this setup. Right, let me close that now because I don't need the stream running on my phone and here. So, stuff and things. Where was I at? A lot of stuff going on here. I did change the RC Voodoo's out. Later, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Very much appreciated. Arthur's with us. Hello, Arthur. Did you change the wheels? I did read your comment. Yes, and I'll get to the wheels in 1 second. BJ's with us. Have a fully loaded SCX-10-2. Do you think the cross SUV would be a good next truck? That depends. How much do you like scale? While you think about your answer, this truck will take a full-size LiPo. The RTR version will take a full-size LiPo. The SR4A, A, B and C will take a full-size LiPo. Okay? So that's that. Now just real quick I was saying before, I don't just have cross trucks, I've got lots of other trucks. I haven't driven this poor little thing. I love this truck. This is a very, very special little truck. A lot of you know the story. For those that don't, I built a race truck and I sent it to A-Main Hobbies. This is well before I was sponsored by anyone. Just because of the people I knew at A-Main Hobbies. There's some really great people that work there. So I built this truck dedicated to A-Main Hobbies and posted it to them. And they sent me this. They're like, we've got to send you a truck. And I'm like, really? You don't have to do that. Check this little beast out, would you? This is the MST CMX. And I've driven it once. Possibly maybe twice. I got cross trucks and it was like, oh, I need to take this out and drive it. I love this truck. It's one of those trucks I will never sell. So anyway, that's that. Right. I'm going to swig of my coffee and then I'll bring over the SG4C so you can check out the wheels. Then I'll bring over the SU4C. Now, top tip, if you're thinking about buying an SU4C, what is it? That is the MST CMX. I believe it's the CMX. It's a brilliant little truck. If you want a short wheelbase truck, we get so sidetracked on these streams. Good thing there's no time limit on them. It's all part of the fun. Okay. Some still sand in there. So it's a short wheelbase truck. It's got a 26 turn motor. At some stage I'll change this motor. The XB40 ESC from MST. It's a brilliant short wheelbase truck. You can put Tamiya hard bodies on these. This body here that comes with this particular truck is actually a Tamiya body. That's how come you know it's good. I need small black body pins. So yes, these are wicked little trucks. But anyway, I'll put the body back on this and I'll move this out of the way. I'll have a swig of my coffee and then I'll bring over the SU4C and the SG4C Demon. For those of you that joined us late, the winner of the Gen8 versus SR4A was actually the SR4A. It just, overall, it outperformed the Gen8. So there's that truck. It's just there for now. Yeah, that's heavy. Okay. So, demon time. More demons. Demons everywhere in here. I've got 4 demons. And I'll want another one. Okay, so these trucks, the pair of them, full hard body, full scale interior. They've both got the engine dealy under the bonnet. Okay, this is where scale kicks it up a notch, and you have to say to yourself, what would I prefer right now? Would I prefer scale or performance? These trucks do perform surprisingly well considering it's a full hard body truck with an interior. Okay, let's do the double cam action here. Okay, so we've got the fancied up motor there, and we did the same on the other truck, the SU4C. I tried to go for a more stock look with this and a bit more of a racy look with this. I love these cameras. This is brilliant. And then of course we have the Fonz. Okay, happy days in this truck. Full detailed interior, light up dashboard. I mean, it's just go nuts. Now the same interior that's in here is in this truck. Okay, set that back around. Yeah. You've got to understand that you're going to lose a bit of performance, like the new camera. Me too. What did you reference for the motor paint job? All up here, mate. All up here. I didn't look at pictures or anything. It was just like, this is what we've got. We've got a couple of big air intakes. We've got the big V8 badge, and the rest of it is sort of what can I do to make it look as scale as possible with what I've got. That's where you get a bit smart with your wiring and things like that to try and to make the most of it. Tony's back. Didn't know you left, Tony. So look, if you like scale and you like a truck that looks realistic as it drives, etc. and so on, that does perform well for what it is, yes, to both of them. I've changed the suspension setup in the back of this one. I'm yet to drive it with its new setup. Now you can instantly see the difference between this and the SR4A. I've limited my flex. I still got heaps. That's plenty. Crawler Falls joined us. Hello, mate. Well spent on the new setup, by the way. Wow. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate that. Scale with 2.2s. No such thing, Tony. The day will come. You will buy 155s. Okay? The day will come. I love 155s. I don't mind 19s, but the more I have 155s, the more I say, oh, I love 155s, want more. So what was that? Where was that? So I redid the rear shocks. Purposely limited my flex. Like I say, that's heaps. Before it was like, up here somewhere. I've got to take it out and drive it. Did you see the new MST? Is there a new one? What's it called? Crazy the amount of trucks that are coming out lately. Did you use those optional shock mounts? Not with this. What I did was I used the factory rear shocks from my PG4, which are 74mm shocks, or 72. I used those, and then I could bolt them straight from the diff to the chassis. I think I had to use a spacer just to make sure. Yeah, we've got a 3mm spacer up the top, no spacer on the bottom. So it's literally that simple. There is plastic PG4 rear, or you can get the upgraded aluminum one. And the reason I used these is because on my PG4, I upgraded them to the aluminum ones. So I had these laying around, and it was like, this makes perfect sense. So I've changed that, and so far as I can tell, it should be a lot better. It doesn't have as much as a pivot point that the SR4A does, so I'm going to change that around. Right, was there any other... Oh, the wheels. I'm so sidetracked here. The wheels on this truck are the factory wheels that come with that truck. Okay? Now, the reason the factory wheels from that truck are on this truck is because I put 1.55s on that truck. I put 1.55s on this. The factory wheels for this are in my drawer. So there's that. All of these cross tracks, for those wondering, come with light kits. Factory light kit, awesome. Plug it in, done. That's simple. Too bad this truck is discontinued. Which one? Which one, Tony? Before you move on, not the light bar though. This light bar wire goes straight down here, plugs into the back of the headlight. That is that's a cross factory upgrade. So you can buy these and it plugs into the factory light kit. Yes, it doesn't come with these, but they're only $15. I quite like them. I mean, I've got one of this, I've got one of this. I ordered one for that, but one of the lenses got cracked in the post. So with my next order from Rob, he's going to send me another lens, which is awesome. Would love to know the electronics you fitted with it. Okay, so we've got a 1080 waterproof ESC, which I run in all of these trucks. I even run one in that big thing up there. Fancy cam time. Up there you got a BCRC Mammoth. That runs a 1080 waterproof on 3S. Does a pretty damn good job. So the 1080 waterproof ESC in all of them, and the Year Racing 20 kilo servo. I've got a box here somewhere. Here we are. This camera's just paying for itself. Anyway, so that's the servo, 20 kilo waterproof. I think they're brilliant. If you run them in a truck that's heavy, run it with a Hobby Wing UBEC external BEC. They cost like $3. Ben's joined us from Buy It, Break It, Fix It. Hello, mate. So we got that. Tony, what truck was discontinued? Shock mounts, we did that. I think I'm up to date. Yes, that's still got the factory motor. I didn't change that one yet, but I'm going to change it. The cross motors factory are bloody brilliant. They just are. Just the Year Racing motors, for those that don't know, here's a box I prepared earlier. I ordered 4 of these last time. In the first order, I ordered 3. And I've only got 2 left. Just Climb. Well, we can do it down here. There you go. Just Climb, Year Racing Hack Moto, 5-slot brushed motor, butter. It's just buttery good. Such a good motor. I've put one in the SU4C. I'm yet to actually drive that with this new motor. The SU4C. I can't remember if I put one in that. What else did I put one in? The PG4. I don't think I've changed this one. No, I haven't changed this one yet. The Gen8. I can't remember what else. But I've put them in a lot of trucks already, and they're $20. Do you have the SG4 pickup? No, I want it. That's what's on my list. I love that. The SP4 is just brilliant. Ben, I still have my demon sitting in the box. Lol. I need to get on it. Dude, yes you do. Build that thing. You got to build it. So yeah, if you want a wicked motor, get yourself one of these. This is why I got this camera, because it's easier. When I do this one, I'm all over the shop. You can't see anything I'm doing. Okay? Right, so is that everything on the SG4C? If it is, I'll put it back. I think it is. I think we covered everything. We have a subscriber. Alexis Fernandez, I believe it is. I should have a pop-up window here somewhere. There we are. I'm rocking this. I'm smashing it. Okay. Put that window there. Lovely. Alexis Fernandez has subscribed. Welcome, mate. Thank you very much for the subscription. Very much appreciated. Was it a pain to assemble? No. The biggest tip I can give anyone that builds any cross truck: pay close attention, real close like, this close like, to the bolt sizes that you use. Okay? And the reason I say that is a lot of bolts in these trucks are very, very similar. So if you get 3/4 of the way through your build, before jumping to the conclusion that you haven't got enough bolts, think to yourself, okay, is there somewhere I possibly could have put the wrong bolt? Because a lot of the time it happens. I think when I built this one, I even stuffed up a couple. It's so easy to do. Just pay a lot of attention to the bolt size. Other than that, I built one of these trucks. I built this on a live stream in BCRC, the group. So it's not hard. It's actually quite enjoyable to build. Right, I'm going to put this one back now. That goes out on the trailer. Right, now this one here, this is the latest one, and everyone needs this truck. It's true, because it's just a thing of beauty. I mean, you get the option of this grill here, which I love that grill, or you get the option of that grill up there. Okay, now I've mounted mine on the wall to be all scale garage like. So, of course, let's just close up cam this whole thing, because we can. Okay, so we have the motor. Give us a focus. There you go. I'm learning all these things with these cameras. Okay. So we've got the motor set up. And this is what I mean about wires and such. The wires and those things aren't with it. These are things that you can do yourself to scale out the truck a bit more. When you build this, that's just a grey piece of plastic. You can see tucked in there the little racing motor. So we've got that, and then we've got our full scale interior, which is awesome. Next best thing, got to run. The live stuff is awesome, sir. Have a good night. No worries, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. That is so elegant, the wiring. All those wires don't do anything. They just look good. Except for these two that are attached to the motor. But the rest of it is all just scale effect. Okay? So they are literally just there to look like there's wires going from here somewhere into this fuse box. That runs off to somewhere else. So does that. Same with this, battery wires. They literally go just past the engine plate and stop it. Where's your on-off switch? Move my bonnet, my hood out of the way. The on-off switch is... Oh, you can see it. There you go. Down on the passenger footwell floor. So you literally just reach your finger in, bing, turn the truck off or on. So that way it's nicely hidden. So with this truck, you get your full interior, front and back. Okay? And then in the back, you can pull this door straight off, and that's where your battery goes. Now, there's no little cover for this, but you can quick and easy make your own with a piece of styrene, which is what I did. I don't know where I've put it. But I made a little cover that slides in over the top, and there's a couple of racing boxes like those there, just sitting on top. So it hides the fact that that's where your battery goes. This will take a full length battery. It just can't be full width, etc. as far as your standard big packs go. So you've got your battery goes in there, your rear door that locks in through the bottom there and magnets across the top. This truck here, if you go to crossrc.us and use the code at checkout BCRC, you can get $70 off this truck, which is a peeping bargain. Okay? Too bad they ditched the winch on the front. Now, you have the option. Let me just put the old zooming camera back down. I love that. Oh, what an investment that camera was. I love it. Anyway, okay, so you have the option. You can remove this bumper. You can put the SG4C bumper on there with the winch. Should you want to do that. I mean, if you do that, paint the bumpers black. Wordy Made were making bumpers for these trucks, but they stopped making them. And it's like, it didn't faze me much anyway because I didn't like them. But I'd much prefer to have the nice shiny chrome bumpers on there. They look good. It suits the era of the truck. And they're cheap to replace should you go and scratch them up heaps. But, I mean, I've put some good scratches on this truck and I haven't wrecked my bumpers yet. So, if you want to get one of these bad boys at a discounted price, use the BCRC code at checkout on crossrc.us and you'll get $70 off this truck, which is stupid cheap. Right. I ordered a Wordy Made bumper. Matt said he had just enough parts to make me one. Well, I mean, he makes the parts. If it goes like it looks, look this thing. Check the channel. There's videos of all these trucks on the channel. I did a little promo video for the $70 off, and I've probably watched it 50 times, right? And the reason I've watched it so many times is there's one little scene where, after it goes head on towards you, there's a scene where it sort of goes and drops down this little rock, and it is so realistic in scale and awesome looking. I love it. Can recommend it. Such a fun truck to drive. Just as smooth as that one and this one. These two trucks, this one and that one, have updated shocks. So there's more coils, which means they do more. They react to more as you drive along, and it shows. It really does show. Now you ship my drink. This stream seems to be going pretty well for a tester with all the gear. Any other questions, people? I'm pretty happy with how this has all gone. At some stage too, I'm going to do a test for a Facebook live feed with this gear, because some people like the Facebook way where you can share pictures and reply to each other's comments. I mean, you can reply to each other here, just you got to pay attention. Do you think the aftermarket will get on board? I'm pushing certain few companies to make aftermarket parts for these trucks. So, all going well, I hope so. I really do, because Cross makes some brilliant stuff. Drive one. You just got to drive one. If I watch one of my Cross videos, I'm out with one of my trucks the next day. They're awesome. Cross does make, I haven't got it on this truck. On the SG4C, there's a brass weight for the front and the brass weight for the rear. They also make brass wheel weights, but I know a lot of people are funny about those. So, out of all the Cross trucks, list your least favourite. I think it's called the KC. Let me just go to the Cross site. I think it's the KC. I'll find out. I'll show you a picture. I hope you're successful, because Sean Black didn't sound very optimistic on the aftermarket part. Who's Sean Black? Sorry if someone I should know. Stores are reluctant to carry it. A lot of stores are carrying this truck. Well, I mean, all Cross trucks. There's even stores now in Australia that carry them. If you want, Hobbytown should want to carry everything to do with Cross, because the guy that runs Cross RC US runs a Hobbytown, and parts, well, that's more for them, honestly. Right, let's see. It's one of the military trucks. Nope. I think it's that one. Ugh. Yeah, it's got to be that one. Yeah. It is the KC. Right, let me get up a picture. Can I open that in a new window? Open a new tab. We'll open the tab. Okay, here we go. There you go. Actually, I'll hold that up to here because that's the only one I'm not huge on. I would have one. Ugh. Like, my goal is to have one of every cross truck at some stage. Okay? So at some stage I'll have one. But that's the one I don't like the most. It's just ugly. Some trucks are so ugly they're pretty. That one is an exception to the rule. So that's the cross truck I like the least. List your favourite to least favourite. That's tough, man. That is tough. This is why I just keep buying more cross trucks, because then I don't have to list them. I just have them all. Okay. My favourite... Oh, Jesus. My favourite's probably the GC4. I'll bring it over. Like, you guys have seen this one now. Why would you own a non-favourite? Because I love cross trucks. It's one of those things, right? That KC6, which I say is it's pretty ugly. If I got it and drove it, no doubt it'd grow on me. But as far as jumping on the website, looking at trucks to buy, you go, oh geez, that's ugly. Next. That's a swipe left. Is it swipe left? Yeah. Right. Sit that leg up. This truck's heavy. Okay. My favourite cross truck. It's got to be this one. And there's a mammoth sitting up there, so that you know this truck must be pretty special. I love this truck. This is one of the nicest driving trucks you will get. It goes more places, and a lot of people won't believe me. This truck goes more places than that Gen8 does. And I'm not talking smack. Let's pop the lid off here and you can have a close-up cam. Am I flogging the guts out of this close-up cam too much or what? Okay, so I've gone and decked out the interior. Okay. We've got a chicken and mayo sandwich there. We've got a truck and life magazine. Empty beer on the floor. We've got the tools over there. A little swag there. If you do one of these trucks, they don't come with these dials. Okay, I had to print those out and glue them there. So they are legitimate GAZ66 dials that I found on the internet. It took me quite a while. Printed them out about 50 times until I got the correct size and glued them in there. So this is my favourite. I mean, it's a pretty truck. Let me get this cord out of the way. Sorry. I mean, even right down to the little scale bolts and such on the hooks and things like that. When I built this truck, I fell in love with the thing more and more. Sorry if I'm wobbling around a bit too much here. Even little things like that's your battery tray. There's a 2-speed transmission hiding underneath there. There's a speaker for the sound kit hiding in there. It's a thing of beauty, this truck. The cab does pop up. You've got roof lights for the top of the roof, and there's also an interior light there that shines down into the actual cab too. So yeah, this is a GAZ66, which is the Russian truck. It's just a thing of beauty. I love it. Absolutely love this truck. As far as least favourite goes, I don't own a least favourite. Does that sound bad? I don't own a least favourite. I just don't. Love all my cross trucks. I mean, even this thing here, which I need to put the body pins back in, so I'll do that while I've got it in my hand. This thing here, I bought second hand. I got it dirt cheap. 220 Australian dollars delivered to my doorstep. It had a broken front axle, because whoever built it didn't set the endpoints properly, and they broke the axle and they sold it with a broken axle. And I was like, I don't care, I was putting an axle on it. Even this, I love this. I won't sell it. It's just, I'll sell my TRX4 or something else before I sell a cross truck. Because I always want to drive one of my cross trucks. That's my next one for sure. Can definitely recommend, if you want to build a scale truck that's just a bloody pleasure to drive, definitely recommend that. Awesome truck. Again, check the channel. There's videos there of all of these trucks. Yep, just going through the comments here. Yep, good. I'm up to date. Lovely. So yeah, I love my cross trucks. I mean, I used to feel bad about it because people just put shit on you all the time. Oh, you're only saying this and this and this because it's a cross truck. It's like, no, I'm saying this because this is what it is. This is a good value for money truck because it is. It's so much smoother than the Red Cat, smoother than SCX 10.2. It's smoother than a TRX4. It's just, it is a pleasure to drive. It just is. I love my trucks. I get too attached, and this is why I don't sell any of my trucks. The TA3 has a very nostalgic look. Which one's that, dude? Is that the four-door, the four-door cab over? That's one of those trucks that are saying it's pretty. Great collection of trucks. Thanks, mate. I've got more trucks, but some of them are a bit hard to get down. What I'll do, say the next live feed, perhaps I'll do a Facebook one. I'll do a Facebook one, try all this setup to see if I can essentially run this exact setup as a Facebook live feed. Are the stock motors good? Yes, they are. They are good. If you want to replace it, obviously, like I said, go for the air racing motor, but I'm going to keep any stock motor I take out of these trucks because they are bloody brilliant. As far as the stock motor goes, they are good. I mean, my SG4, wherever it is now, my SG4C's got the factory motor in it. This has got the factory motor in it, I believe. I don't think I changed it. No, factory motor. This has got the factory motor in it. That's got the factory motor in it. That doesn't, I don't believe. No, that doesn't. That's got the factory motor. Yeah, they're good motors. I rate them. So yeah, no least favourite. No least. It's so hard for me to choose a truck to wheel with. It's terrible. Well, I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me. It's just, this is why a lot of the time I'll put a post on the BCRC group and say, which truck should I take out, fellas? Because I just can't pick. And that's even with like it's bad enough with just the cross trucks, but then when you've got the TRX4, you've got the MST, I've got this little beast here. Check that bad boy out, would you? I know a lot of you guys have seen this, but some people haven't. That's an original release CC01 from 1993. Running the original gears, all the original parts underneath, and it still goes. And it's fun to drive. It's about the only truck I've got left that I run on nickel metal batteries. Just because it likes the weight of a nickel metal battery. Stay. So yeah, it's hard to decide what to drive. That thing there puts up a pretty damn good fight against everything else. I'll give you the tip. That truck is bipping epic to drive. We try and keep it PG here for those that don't know. But yeah, it's funny when I drive stuff like the old farm truck and the mammoth. The mammoths are just a beast. It rapes the terrain. Just there's nothing on the market like that truck. Nothing. Don't care what anyone says. There's nothing like that out there. When you drive these trucks, it's hard to want to drive anything else. I would have painted the gas olive green. Now, generally with my trucks, there's a story behind them. Insert the farm truck. So this was an army truck. It didn't see much use in the army. It was then on sold to a dealer. The dealer painted it up as a civilian vehicle, and the farmer bought the truck, and he's done nothing with it except go and get his Truck and Life magazine and his lunch. That's the story. And that's why I've got an old man in the... You can't see it. That's why I've got an old man in the driver's seat. I forget what his name is. Herschel, I believe, from The Walking Dead. Okay? He suits the truck. He's got the suspenders. He's got the old grey goatee beard. It just works. You've got to have a story for your truck before you build it. No, I definitely wasn't going for the military motive there. I've got... Alright, I'll tell you what. This thing hasn't seen the light of day for quite some time, so bear with me. I've got to move a couple of things, but I'll see if I can get this down. Oh, Jesus. I have a military truck. Man, I've got too much crap here. Right. So yes, I do have a military truck, and it is rather large. This particular truck is an SCX-10 original. It's two SCX-10 originals that I've turned into one. It's got two 17 kilo servos. It's got a 21... Oh, I'll tell you what. Let me get rid of the trailer. I can sit over here. Let me get rid of the farm truck real quick. We're going old school now. You know it's old school when the when the big girl comes out. This poor thing needs a run, and it also needs its high ab leg glued back on because someone broke it off. Hannah. So this, God, that cord's probably not going to be long enough. Okay, what do I need? I need that. Let me just prop up that tray. Lovely. Right. Let me see how far I can get with this. So, we have the Man 7 cab on, all metal. I built the interior for it. That hasn't seen the light of day for a long time. I built the interior for it. I know it's hard to see, and I'm not taking the roof off to show you because look at this. Bolts, 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 all the way around here, all across the back. So it is what it is. There's a dog asleep in the back. Alright, this is going to be the test. Can I get you close enough to see? Alright, so we have a 21 turn Hakimoto motor going into a 5-to-1 planetary transmission that goes down into the SCX-10 transmission, all metal gears that then runs through the metal drive shafts all the way out to all the dips. We have a S1 sound unit sitting in here as well. Making this truck was nothing shy of a pain in the ass. I had it as a 6x6 for a long time, and then one day it was like, oh, here's a good idea. Let's make it an 8x8. Terrible idea. But I got there in the end. So yeah, there's this thing. This truck's known as Juggernaut, and for pretty good reason. It's a tank. It's not as heavy as the Mammoth, but it is longer. And I think it's about the same width. And it's just... I don't think I've seen a video of that. If you scroll down my channel far enough, you will see videos of this truck. There hasn't been one for quite some time, and it needs to get out for a run. It needs possibly a service. I say possibly, it needs a service. Let's not kid ourselves. It needs a dust, because the colour you're seeing, it's about 5 shades darker than what you're seeing because of the dust. Poor truck. So yeah, this truck needs to... God, I'm not doing that. This truck needs to get out for a run. Yes. So, that's why I didn't do a military one, because I've already got one. Basically, that was a long story. So yeah, it is what it is. I built all the back of it. Built the tray, built the faux HIAB on the back, which is a crane for those who don't know what a HIAB is. Built this whole compartment, back that up a bit, this whole compartment here. This truck has stupid torque. I mean, it doesn't even want to turn the wheels. And that's not something's jammed up or anything like that. It's just between that planetary transmission and then the SCX10 transmission, etc., the torque is just stupid. It'll pull a tree over. But yeah, that's me big beast. Are you familiar with the Hilux High Lift? Yes, would I ever buy one? I would. I nearly did. Probably about a year and a half ago now. I nearly bought one. Local shop had one. And I thought, oh, I could build that. And I could put the MFC unit in it and do that. But it's never been hugely high on my list. And I think it's because of the massive pumpkins that it has on the diffs. And the body's a touch skinny. I don't like skinny bodies on crawlers. But yeah, I nearly bought one. Let me set this thing back up. Yeah. Right. Try to set it up there without breaking anything. That is a heavy truck. I shouldn't be lifting that. I have a bad back for those that don't know. So yes, I don't mind them. Like I say, I'd buy one. It's on my list, but just a lot further down. I mean, it's a Tamiya. Tamiya stuff's good fun to make. I've raced plenty of Tamiya stuff and built plenty of Tamiya stuff over my time. So, they're cool trucks. Alright, well, I'm not entirely sure how long this has been going for. Hour and 10 minutes. MFC unit is outrageously overpriced. It is. What do you think of the Unimog? Without having one sitting right in front of me, I can't go stupid with what I think of it. But it's an SCX10 with a Unimog body. That's what it is. Basically. I know that sounds like a lazy answer, but too many people get too upset if I say what I really think about some things. So, I mean, I'm not into upsetting people. It's a bit of a lazy release, but it is what it is. You know, good on them for doing it. I think the part of the reason they've released that is because they've been looking at doing that 6x6 Unimog. So, which would be interesting too. I mean, that's just it's an SCX10 that's extended with another diff. So I mean, it's nothing hugely new. I mean, we've done 100,000 6x6 with the original SCX10. So it is what it is. It's not something I look at and go, oh, I really want one of those. And that's important when it comes to buying a truck. You don't just buy a truck for the sake of buying one. You'll buy it, you'll be excited with it for about 3 minutes, and then go, I wish I'd have saved my money for something else. Or, the next day you might see something somewhere and go, oh, wish I had that money now. So yeah, they've actually sort of been, for my taste personally, they've been a bit hit and miss lately. We're getting to the point where I think they need to do something big. Any weathering projects in the future? Really like those videos. I'm sure I can come up with something, mate. I'm sure I can. I've got to finish. I've got a CCO1 I've got to finish building. I've got a D110 I've got to finish building. Who knows? There's going to be more trucks. I mean, especially too, if I do more of the cross trucks, especially the military ones, I might do a military one or two in that sort of style. And who knows? Rusted up whether Earl, is that not exactly what most of the cross trucks are? The same chassis? Alright, I'll give you a little lesson on cross. Okay? So you got the cross PG4 sitting over there, right? Then there's, let me just sit that back down there. Then we've got the PG4L, which was an extended, bigger version of the PG4. You've got the Mammoth, you've got the HC6, you've got the HC4, you've got the KC6, you've got the MC8, you've got the MC6, you've got the GC4. Cross makes a lot of trucks. So I know the Demon chassis is used in a lot of different trucks, but every time they release it, it's improved. It's not just the same chassis. It's improved. They're constantly researching stuff to try and make things better and different all the time. So it's no different than Traxxas. Traxxas came out with their original, this is our first whack at a crawler chassis. They made that, and for their first truck, bloody brilliant. Smashed it out of the park. They had more features than any other crawler on the market, essentially, for their first truck. Which is why people need to step up their game. You've got the Traxxas, regardless of what anyone says, it's still one of the best trucks you'll get because of all the features and such it's got. You got the cross trucks, which the quality's there, the performance is there, the scale's there, the whole thing. What else have you got? You've got this Enduro that's coming out. Looks like a pretty impressive truck. Well priced for what it is. I know there's more, but when it all boils down to it, the SCX10 chassis hasn't changed. It's the same chassis. The bits that are smushed in it are different. I don't know. They need to do something different. They need to. People keep screaming on the actual page, give us a scale truck. You know, give us this. I know a lot of people say give us portals, but I don't think Axial needs to do portals. They've been done. You know, give us this, give us this, give us that, and then they go have a micro crawler. Now I know there's a lot of people that'll buy it, but I don't ever recall anyone posting anywhere, geez, I wish Axial would make a micro crawler. Love Bob Ross. What the hell's that got to do with anything? Oh, reminds me of watching a Bob Ross painting. Right, sorry, my bad. Got to read the other comments first. Not fond of Axial. Look, I don't mind Axial. They're not bad trucks. I just think they need to do something. You know, they need to shock people. Check this out. Like the 6x6 thing. Yep, good idea. Release it. But I don't think people are going to see it and go, holy shit, did you see what Axial released? Share it to all my mates. Buy one of these. That's what Axial needs. They need a biggie. In this point in the game, there's too many people out there that are releasing, like, there's too many people that are releasing trucks that are so nice that you go, well, why would I buy an Axial? Every time I go an Axial, there's something that stops me. It's because you don't really want one. You know, I love your channel, but not share the love of Cross. I've owned plenty, and I personally was not impressed. But that's the thing about getting opinions. Well, I mean, without sounding rude, it may have been how it was set up. And when I built my first one, I didn't set it up properly. I mean, not that. You can't stuff that up. When I built my Demon first, it was like, this doesn't seem right. And I've said it in YouTube videos, I've said it in live feeds, I was disappointed with how it drove. I came home, I changed how it was set up, I took it back out and was like, oh, this is so much better. And I'll tell you now, as far as the after-sales service goes, you're hard pressed to get much better. Robert Mazza, that runs Cross RC US, has taken on so many after-sales services that he doesn't have to. People have bought trucks off eBay, A-Main, other places, and they can't get help, etc. and so on. They'll contact Rob, and Rob will go, okay, I'll send you the part, out of his own pocket. So I mean, you can't ask for more than that. If something stops you, just wondering, because the Unimog is about the same as the Demon, and you seem to get more with the Demon. You think Axel will come out with no, they won't, because it'll cost too much. The SCX10, when I bought the SCX10 2, it cost me 650 Australian dollars for the RTR. Let that sink in. And the reason it costs so much money is because of the licensed body and the licensed wheels and the licensed tyres. It's all well and good, yeah, ouch is the word. It's all well and good to want licensed stuff. If Red Cat didn't put licensed crap on their truck, it would have been cheaper again. And let's be realistic, the tyres aren't brilliant, the foams are too stiff. So that was a waste of licensing money anyway. Cross designs their own tyres, makes their own tyres, designs their own wheels, makes their own wheels. And the tyres on that PG4, the same, that's got the same tyres. Beeping brilliant. The tyres on the old girl, brilliant. The tyres on that thing, brilliant. The only reason I've changed any tyres on my cross trucks is to put 1.55s on it. Now, I've been pestering the McShite out of Cross saying, please put 1.55s on your trucks. They look so good. I'm not winning that battle yet. Have you seen the Pro Line Dodge Power Wagon? Looks to be a hard body. Nah. Feel free to drop a link in the BCRC group. But I don't believe I've seen it. There's not much I haven't seen. It's hard to keep up. It's so hard to keep up. But yeah, I mean, you see all the cross. I've got, I think, 8 or 9 cross trucks. I've literally had 0 issues with any of them. The only time I've seen people have issues with their cross truck is, well, the majority, I think, is if they break it themselves. And I can tell if someone's broken it themselves. If they post up a picture on Facebook of a dog bone that's just snapped in half, that's not the truck's fault. That's your fault because you didn't set your endpoints properly. So many people with endpoints used to get so shitty with me. Oh, my truck's broke. It's crap. Show us some pictures, and you pick up instantly what they've done. Well, I'm not insulting you, mate. I'm not insulting you at all, Will. There's just, there might be certain parts you got to understand. Each truck's different. Each truck's different in how it's set up and how it likes to be run. Because of the triangulated suspension in the Demon, which, I mean, I've explained earlier. Sorry, my eyes itchy. I explained earlier, the triangulated suspension on the Demon was a mistake, and that's why they released the shock relocation kit, and that's why in the other Demons they don't do it anymore. So if you got the SG4C and you didn't like how it performed because of it fell over or whatever else, it's probably just because of the shocks. And you can honestly change it all for $15. So there's no insults. It's just, I made the mistake with my truck and I've built plenty of them. I set it up and I took it out and it was like, oh well, geez, I'm a little bit disappointed. I changed how I'd done it and the truck was heaps better. So there's no insults. I don't do insults. It's that simple. I mean, I'm sure people get upset with things I say, but I'm not out to insult anyone. So yes, there's that. But no, Ben, I haven't seen the Ram Charger. I'd like to see it, especially if it's a body that's wide enough to fit on a chassis without the wheels poking a mile out. So yes, bugs in my garage. So has anyone got any other questions or anything before we call this stream a stream and shut up shop? Unfortunately, I haven't set up the stream has closed scene just yet. I don't know if I need one, but it could be a thing. She's not fond of Vatera either, but I don't get insulted. Look, honestly, I'll said it till I blew in the face. Don't buy Vateras, especially the new ones. The older ones are better than the new ones. Not the original one, because the gears were crap. The V2 gears were better, but the newer Vateras get, the worse they seem to get. But you got to remember, these things are just my opinion. I don't sit here and go, you're crap, you suck, whatever else. I don't do that. I just say, this is what I think. A lot of people agree. There's going to be people that don't, but there's no need to be salty. Bugger off pop-up. So yeah, just posted the group, check it out, tagged you. Awesome. I'll look at it right now, just before we close the shop. Benny, tag me in a post. That's Lexan. That's Lexan. It's too thin to be... Yeah, that's Lexan. It's very clever. And the reason I'm saying it's very clever... Yeah, you can just see the canopy part there, the extra part of the roof. It looks to me like you cut out tabs in the normal truck body to slide that bed cap, Americans like to call it, on top of the truck. It's very clever. I don't mind that. But it's good. It's good that people like Proline are stepping up the bodies, because for quite a while there wasn't many new options. It was, here's what we've got. For probably nearly a year and a half, there was like nothing new. So it's good that there's more options coming out. And obviously everyone wants more scale stuff all the time, so these companies have to keep releasing bigger and better scale options for us. Alright, so if that's it, feel free to give the stream a share, give it a like. If you want to donate towards prizes and such in the future, feel free to do so. And yeah, hopefully it won't be too far off with the next stream. I'm trying to organise some big awesome streams, live unboxing and those sorts of things. But I think the next couple are probably just going to be... Actually no, one of them should be another company spotlight. I'm enjoying doing those. So essentially I'll hunt the internet down, find a company that I think's got good stuff. I'll find companies I think have got good stuff that's good value for money. I'll buy it, get it in, and then install this stuff on the stream or whatnot to show you guys what it's like and whether it's any good. We did the Trill Hobby. Check these guys out, they make some really nice stuff. We did those guys and love their stuff. I'm going to get more. Really quite surprised. Good value for money. They make the wheels that are on the Gen8, which are just... they make the upgrades that are on the Gen8. It's nice to have options for all these things. So go and check them out. Alright, it's lunchtime for me, an hour ago. I'm hungry. So, thank you very much everyone for stopping by. Sorry mate if you feel offended. I wasn't trying to upset you. You can't please everyone all the time, unfortunately. So, thank you all for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Give it a share, give it a like, and all those things. Alright, I'm about to click the button. See you on the next one.